If you haven't seen it already, the Liver King, I shouldn't even say Liver King and Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan doesn't really have anything to do with it. Liver King is just, well, I don't think anyone knows. Coming off drugs, wanting attention. And it made me think of something. You know, we have different needs as human beings. And there can be lists of 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 needs. And sometimes things are more simple if it's in a duality. If you look at a man, I think there's two important ones that stand out for us as guys. Something in our deep sense of core knows we're here for love. We're here to help people. We're here to give love to ourselves, to others, to our families, to take care of people. And we also like to feel important. Someone can feel important through helping people, giving the most, trying their best. Someone else can feel important by tearing other people down, hurting people, being the loudest. So if we were to think of that, you know, duality, what's going on. So if you haven't seen it, the Liver King apparently, from the videos I've seen, has challenged Joe Rogan to a fight. It's much weirder than I'm explaining. I just came across it and I couldn't believe it, going, this guy's, he went to jail, he's wearing an ankle bracelet, and he keeps making videos that seem to be violating his restraining order. But that's kind of the basis. Let's look beyond it. Let's take the human need of love and the other need of feeling significant, feeling important. And let's compare Joe Rogan and Liver King for a second. Joe Rogan is someone, whether you like him or not personally, people love him, right? I really like Joe. I think he's an awesome dude. I think he's an integrated guy. I think he's got a big, beautiful heart, and he's a badass as well. I think he's a solid dude from what I see, and he seems to be the real deal, be authentic. I could be wrong, I don't know, but if I was gonna put money in, I would say yes. So he's someone in today's day, and especially of like the internet, he's someone that people love so much and he's so popular. He's someone that people have, let's say, nominated to be a king, right? He's not claiming that title of he's the king or something like that. Excuse me, if you read comments, some people like him, some people don't, but ultimately a lot of people really love him. If you look at just, again, as a male archetype, not to pick on his character because I don't know anything about him, even though he's done some crazy shit the last few days. Liver King is someone who has to tell people he's a king. Who has to, well, it's warmer than I thought. Who makes a point of that he's important, right? So it's interesting. One person is super important, Joe, and loved by people. The other one, not really liked by people very much, and then needs to tell everyone how important he is. So why is this important? Because what I think is happening with Liver King is he's had these peaks. He had a Netflix special, when was it? I actually watched some of it a month ago. So there's, drugs that I think are good references for stardom. Cocaine would be one of them. Not a drug I've liked. Tried it a couple times many years ago. Don't really do any drugs now. Plant medicine. And it's something like you trying to get a high, and then you can't get any more, so you're keeping reaching for something. Even if you've never done cocaine or you've heard about it, people talk about it. And it seems like whether he's done drugs or not, it's like, okay, I'm famous on the internet. I got a supplement brand. I'm on Netflix. Okay, what's the next level? And you can kind of burn out and feel bad. Okay, the next level, I'm gonna fight Joe Rogan. And it's just such a wild thing to try to be significant. And what watching those videos the last couple of days, oddly enough, made me think of is if I was Joe Rogan or Liver King, or I was me, because I've thought this a lot the last year, how would I want my kids to see me? From what I can see in the Joe Rogan thing, he said nothing. Had a restraining order, and there's no rebuttal. I don't think he cares. He's Joe Rogan. So for him, he's probably thought of, how do I love, protect, take care of my family? Is this guy real? He's probably had other crazy shit that we've never heard of being a celebrity and having issues. And then I'm sitting there, and I didn't know the Liver King was only 47 years old. I don't know if he's on drugs. He looks bad. Like, he looks like this week he's 67 years old with lighter hair. Like, he looks rough. I think Joe Rogan's 10 years older or something. And I was just thinking, like, gosh, could I imagine if I was the Liver King, like, rolling around on the ground, wearing a bulletproof vest or whatever it was, to the Capitol building with his dogs, kicking his dog, with 2 AR-15s on Instagram Live, talking about Joe Rogan's family, and it's just crazy shit. Like, especially when you're talking about a guy's family, that's a million times worse. It's weird enough what he's doing. And if you're you're the kind of guy who has kids, you want to have kids, maybe you got a kid on the way. Sometimes we don't ask the question to ourselves enough, how do I want to show up for that kid? Or it can freak you out and you just feel a lot of pressure, and we can go into escapism, drinking, THC, whatever. How we're going to show up is going to impact those around us. And again, check it out as a social experiment. Don't get lost in it, but it's wild to see someone behaving that way. And why I brought up love versus significance, it's someone that's had so much significance with Liver King, and it kind of just seems to be just starving for it, even though they've had so much, kind of like a crackhead, like a drug addict that just needs more drugs and just wants more and just wants more. And it makes you think who's in charge. For us as guys, I think healing is absolutely essential. I think also in the spiritual community, different things, we can get lost in just a never ever healing journey. It's like, all right, how did you integrate that, and what are you going to do? If you're just on a never ever healing journey, are you competent enough to function and grow as a man because of that healing journey? I know I've been on both sides of that myself. Like, just, I need more healing. What are you going to do? Obviously, the Liver King's got some stuff going on with him that has nothing to do whatsoever with Joe Rogan. So he's got some things to heal or some things to work on. And it makes you think of leaders, political leaders, business leaders, and how much mangled stuff they can have inside of themselves. And it can come out blaming another person, blaming their wife, blaming a corporation, could be a political leader blaming a country. Or it could be you, because I know it's been me blaming a previous ex-girlfriend for something that was going on with me. That's happened more than once. I know. Not proud of it, but not embarrassed to share it, right? So what's something in you where you could be a better leader? What's something that's unhealed in you that's showed up in the external with another person, another business deal, another corporation, whatever, complaining about the government? I had some notes here. Gotta have those Liver King notes handy. And what's authenticity really look like to you? Might sound like a silly question, but after watching, again, going back to the Joe Rogan and Liver King, watching Liver King's thing going, I think he's tried to be a character so long and play the role of the Liver King that he kind of doesn't know who he is. Let me rephrase that. He doesn't know who the fuck he is. And it's sad to watch in a way. It's entertaining. It's kind of like watching NASCAR just to see him. Someone's going to hit the wall and start on fire. It's like, this guy's been on fire for 4 days. They keep putting him out. He keeps dousing himself back. I hate to be the poor guy's attorney. They're just going, not again. No, take his phone. But what's authenticity look like to you? Because if you're not living a life that's authentic, that's true to you, that's why God, the universe, put you on this planet, that's true to your heart, what's the point of living? What's even worse than that is if you get really rewarded for being inauthentic and you make money, you get attention for doing that. It rots your soul, believe it or not. You can make $10 million selling something or being something you're not. And you can be famous, you can be rich, and you'll actually feel worse. So what's the truth of who you are? What's authentic to you? And what's more important? As a man, we need both. You want to feel significant and important and love. Which one are you letting lead the way? And if it's different than what you want it to be, which one do you want to lead? Which one do you want to lead the way? Until it's a little late here, I'm tired. So thank you for tuning in. See you very soon. Ciao, gents.